All right, so hopefully you can hear me. I have a much quieter fan now out here. But this is the finished pattern. And I drilled a hole. Well, I drilled a hole and tapped it right there to fit my pulling tool. And as you can see, I have two countersinks right there. We also have this casing that goes with that. We got to have a set. This is the other part of it. And I did the same thing here, so I won't be trying to locate on the parts. I can throw these up on the drill press and knock this out. Alright, so I'm trying to visualize how I'm going to do this. I was ramming these in a smaller mold. Now I'm using a bigger mold, and this is upside down. Still do it like this. Yeah. So I think I want to gate in here and here. I got it a little wet earlier, and I mulled this sand about 3 hours ago, and I had it on the wet side. I didn't like that. Also, I have some castings I'm having to keep an eye on in the kiln. They finally hit 1375, so now I got to time it for 2 hours. I'm going to let them soak for 2 hours at 1375, and then I'll switch it to automatic, where it starts dropping the temp slowly and gradually. Well, my dad, he's got several tractors, and one of them is a International, the other one's a New Holland, but neither of them had a front end loader, and he wanted something with a grapple on it, so he got him one, because it's a very small tractor. It's called a Bad Boy, I believe. I never heard of it, but it's a pretty nice little rig from what I can tell. Problem with these tall ports. I have a tendency when I'm rushing castings to screw up. And we don't need to do that. Alrighty. Now, that one casting will stay in here if I were to pick this up. The small one will fall right out. Got to pick the molding board up with it. To keep that from happening. All I'm doing is kind of pressing down a little bit around the parting line here, firming that sand up, and that helps keep the air out of the sand in those areas where it doesn't get too dry and flaky. Glaze that sand a little bit. Now when I say I'm glazing it, All I'm doing is smearing the clay out, and that helps seal the pores on this, if that makes any sense. All right, so now I'm going to carefully flip this up and create my parting lines. Quickly go over all this and slick it over. Alright, now I'm going to coat all this down. A little bit of a margin around that to where I'm looking at about a sixteenth of an inch. Okay. So the draft angle reverses from one casting to the other. On this casting, the draft angle comes out. On this casting, the draft angle goes in. Well, actually, yeah, they both go in at this point. Now on this, it comes out the opposite way. So we're reversing the draft angle there. So I think that's good. In other words, both pieces are coming straight out. All right, I think I'm going to just have me an ice cold throat boiler here. I don't want parting this in that. Now, if I haven't told you why I do that in past videos, I'm sure I have. That's just to key the coat with the drag. If you notice, I don't have registration pins on these flasks. I got in a hurry, and I had to just throw something together to keep the work moving. And these work fine as long as you key it. Looks good. So I'm going to be stacking this back on the drag from this side. These are never square, so all four corners never made up. But as long as I focus on this side and make sure I got a good alignment here and there, we're good. So I took just a 16 penny nail and cut the thing, and I stuck it in that hole. Now I won't have sand go down in there and pack. So far the sand's doing really good. Just letting it set out in the open and equalize makes a huge difference. I'm gonna lift this straight up. Very little sand broke loose. That's good. On the next one, I got to remember to orientate it like this, and as I'm picking up, kind of pull this way, and that should help me there. We'll get our nail back out. Let's start off with this one. I made sure I had plenty of draft angle on these as I made the patterns. Now I got to be very careful not to wrap too hard because of this joint right there. That's where it's bonded back together. Slick. That's what all that extra attention to detail on pattern making, that's where it pays off. When it'll pull from the sand that clean, you did a good job. So when I tell people that the profile of any cast surface, you have almost zero tolerance in profile in order to get a good pull. We had a great pull then, and we will in the future. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna gate. I'm gonna do my runner and my gate on the drag. I'm gonna cut a runner this way, and then I'm gonna cut a gate here and here. I'll start it off laying down like this, but I am going to turn it up. that's going to be too thin of an area to fill. So I'm going to have to come down. I got to do this up on the edge, guys. I'm going to go ahead and extend this as a knife gate all along this surface. Yeah, it's going to make more to grind, but it'll fill. We don't need that big of a gate on this little part. I like that. See how clean that is down below? I guess you can see that. So I'm going to put some pipe vents in. That's going to evacuate all the back pressure with the gases that are created in there, and get this thing assembled and put it in place. Remember what I was saying about these two corners? So this is back to where it originally was when I lined the flask up. All I got to do is we got it. That's it. Didn't shift on me at all. So I have done these before. They are another part of the casting that goes to Monarch Greenhouses. We're going to do these in these very small molds and try to fit them in where we can pour everything at the same time. He needs 18 of these, 9 of the other castings, which we just finished. So he needs 18 of these, and we have already done the order of 9. Actually, I made 10 just in case something goes wrong. We'll have a spare there. This is I had some more issues out of the molar the other day, and that delayed everything. Normally, I should have had plenty of time to get everything done, but now it's coming down to minutes. Seems like, anyway. As you can see, if I place them like this, I have good draft angle right here for the parting line. Parting line's going to be here, and I can also capture these elongated slots. The holes I'm not worried about. I can easily drill those right back out with the drill press. That's not a problem. These are tapered this way and this way. The draft angle runs this way, this way, this way, and this way. So they will pull out straight from this plane here, straight up. And the way I'm gonna try to hold this form on this oval hole is I'm gonna pull these straight this way out of the mold. Well, actually the other way, because that's the way they're going to pull. So the parting line is actually on the back side here, not up here. Parting line runs around here, all the way around the base, and then this part is captured up on the inside here and there. So you'll see, you'll figure it out. Humidity's kind of high this evening, Temperature is 91 degrees and it is September the 12th. Should be a little cooler, right? And we actually had some cooler weather a couple weeks ago. It was nice. Let's scoot this a little bit that way. I'm worried about Charlie. He is not able to hold his food down, and his owner told me that it's probably the food I'm feeding him here, and if it is, I need to quit feeding him. He's used to eating, get this, he's used to eating steak and eggs every day, yeah. I told her, I said, you know, I think I'm going to be coming over to your house to eat. But yeah, he of course I don't eat eggs. But yeah, I'm kind of concerned about Charlie. I may have to still mold a little more sand. I don't know if I'm going to have enough to get. I've already made one of these molds. I've got one more after this one. These flasks do not require a lot of sand. So oh man, I gotta cut the fan off. I don't know why I didn't do that. Alright, before I go, feels pretty good. But just to be on the safe side, I'm going to firm all this up before I start coping it down. Clean all this out. And get the cobwebs out of the way. sure I'm keeping that thing straight, because I'm going to be very close to the patterns. Very clean. All right, good. This ain't good. Shoot. Well, I messed that one up. That's the way it's supposed to come out. So now I know why this caught sand when I went to pull on it, to pull it out this way. Look right there. See that little wart sticking up? That's what was catching the sand and grabbing the whole thing. That little ledge I was telling about is right there. I'm just going to go flush with the rest of it there. I got to look, make sure I orientate this the right way. Just like that. You see that dent? You see this divot? And I got a little sand here in the bottom of the basin I need to get out. And I see a little choke there in the bottom too. Alright guys, that completes how I make these little things 6 at a time. I've got to make one more, so I'm not going to show all that again. Next we will start pouring. Hey, Dollar, look pretty for the camera. Come on. You're missing Charlie, aren't you? I am too. You think Charlie's around? You think Charlie may show up tonight? Dollar? What do you think? Well, I didn't do too well tonight, guys. We had 0 wind up here, and I couldn't get enough oxygen. That furnace was just consuming all the oxygen, and I was having a hard time breathing. And on top of that, I put my arm against the hand wheel, and that white stuff is Silvadine. But yeah, I burned my arm pretty good. It's not every day I do that. I am going to go ahead and add some heat shields to that. I kept saying I was going to do it, but this time I am going to do it. And I'm going to wear some Kevlar sleeves I've got. I was hoping I wouldn't. I was done wearing those things, but you know, after tonight, I think it'd be a good idea. And I'm also going to take that exhaust fan out of the wall, and I'm going to bring it out here, and I'm going to hang it somewhere in here. I don't know where, but it's going to be blowing straight down on the pouring area for sure. You know, she is 5 years old now. Charlie is 4, we found out. I'd like to still call them puppies, but they're not. But anyway, guys, I am exhausted, and we're just going to keep our eye on the fires out here and make sure all the fuel lines are shut off. Fixing to cap the furnace off with some fire brick, just kind of help let the temperature cool down slowly. And I'll bring you back to these castings next week. I got a feeling we're going to be re-pouring some of those. But anyway, Dollar and I hope you had a good weekend. And yep, did you get it? I still see it. You didn't get it. She's after that carpenter bee. Oh, she's found one right here. Get it, Dollar. Get it. You've had it you've had a taste of those before, huh? You know that's bite another one. As I said, guys, I hope y'all have a good remainder of the weekend, and we will talk to you later. Say bye, Dollar. For those who have been asking about the Windy Hill Foundry hats, these are now available on my website, windyhillfoundry.com, under stores, or you can click on the above link. These are on the pricey side, but keep in mind the shipping is included. Have a good day.